Okay, so right now I'm going to be throwing this buzz bait. Earlier, smallmouth took my skirt, so I put a black and blue pit boss on the back of it, which I know would work. Post-spawn, during post-spawn, that's one of your best times you can throw big top waters and stuff like that. Those bass are really hungry after the spawn, so they'll pretty much gobble anything. So I'm going to try this buzz bait for a couple minutes. See if I can get any top water fish. If I don't catch anything, I'll switch to try a subsurface water bait and see what happens there. Basically, I'm just going to be working this top water bait over any logs, around any brush, especially around those spawning areas. You know, any wind-blown coves, anything like that. Honestly, surprised I haven't got a strike yet. I'll try to go around this pond a little bit in the key areas and throw this. If I have a strike, a short strike, I'll throw this little wacky worm, little wacky rig Senko behind it. See if I can pick that fish up. There goes a bass. Huh. Just watched one jump out of the water right there. He got him too. Little tiny guy. Oh, I knew he was gonna fall off, so I tried to set the hook. He was just holding on to it. Bluegill are bedding over here. Bluegill bedding is a good sign of your bass being post-spawn. Probably try a spinner bait soon. This pond is very limited on what I can throw, but I should be able to still give you guys some tips. Where did my worm go? Should be able to do some damage down this bank. Good spawning bank right here. Oh, I see a whole bunch of fish right here in front of me. The little guys. Looking for mama. There she goes. There it is. You can tell by the way that fish swung up, came up on it. It was a bigger fish. Post spawner right there. That's what I'm talking about. Top water post spawner. Should release this bad girl. I knew there'd be a good one down this shore. Hopefully there's more than that. Not a fish, not big, but decent. Two casts in a row. Not too shabby. Even though these bigger fish like to stick to that, they like sticking to that weed, the shoreline. In the summertime, late spring, summer, and fall, these pond bass really like to sit under the trees. Alright, so remember, fishing big baits, big topwater baits, is a good way to catch them in the post-spawn and spawn time. Throwing in coves, anywhere protected with wind. There's a little baby post-spawner. Looks like it. Right now I'm just throwing this wacky rig up in there. I've seen some bigger fish get spooked there. Little dude. But anyways, yeah, so throwing big baits, even swim baits, topwater baits, into coves and backwaters, hard-bottomed areas where you think they spawn. That's always a good bet. I just had another bite. So location is huge. If you're on main lakes during the post spawn, you're going to want to be fishing your secondary points, your main lake points, and your secondary points. Maybe even any kind of structure, deep water structure, or structure that's around the spawning areas that you have. A lot of the times, if you don't know if your fish are in post spawn or not, and you think they're still spawning, a slower bait, like a smaller, slower bait, maybe a little jig, or a small Texas rig, small grub on a ball head jig, anything like that can really shine during the spawn and the post spawn. It's pretty easy to find out the time that they spawn around in your area. It's not that hard. It just takes a little bit of research, a couple minutes on Google, and you can find out when you're spawning, when the fish in your area spawn or tend to spawn. Not all fish are going to spawn at the same time. Some of them are going to spawn, some of them are going to be in post spawn, some of them are going to be spawning on beds, and some of them are going to be pre-spawn. So always remember that. Big lakes and river systems, you'll see a lot of post spawners and spawners and pre-spawners all at the same time. Small ponds, you won't see it as much. They'll tend to all be spawned out around the same time, but you could still have some pre-spawners while they're still post-spawners. That's what's really fun about fishing the spawn. Not only that, but fishing the spawn can be fun because that's when the biggest bass and the biggest backs in the ecosystem have to come up shallow, giving you your biggest opportunity to find them and catch them and beat that personal best. Looks like a lot of the bass bluegill started bedding, and they backed off their beds. Oh, that's a good one. It's a big one. I had a feeling that one would smoke it over here by this bluegill beds. Got me a nice 2-pounder. As long as he doesn't shake my hook. Flip him on 6-pound. A nice post spawner. I wish I caught her during the spawn. She would have been a big old fatty. Wacky rig around bluegill beds. That is also a good tip for post spawn bass fishing. Nice 1.5-pounder, 1 3/4. Ready to go. Okay. Wacky rig around the bluegill beds, post spawn. Good tip. She smoked it. Top water. Take a pit stop real quick to this little spot. Alright, another tip for you guys. Be very quiet with your footsteps when you're walking into an area like this. Nice and woods, lots of woods. Should be sitting right under this muck. Told you. A good one too. Right there in front of me. That's why I didn't want to walk too heavily. That's a good fish, dude. A lot bigger than I thought she'd be. Ooh, it's a pre-spawner. It's a pre. She might have been on the bed right there along those trees. I just caught another bedder. But instead of working my bait down this bank right here first, what I wanted to do, I made sure I threw over here first in case I caught anything and spooked anything that was over here. You don't want to catch something over there, bring it through, and then spook this bass over here. There's another good one right there on the bank. He might have just saw me though. Take a picture, release her. I'm going to release her not too far from where I caught her. I would have got a better release, but I'm trying to be quiet in this area right here where I just caught her from. Footsteps are louder than your voice. They can hear your footsteps very easily through the ground. A lot louder than they can hear your... He crushed it right here in front of me. Buzz bait on a cloudy, windy day in a pond. Post spawn. Can't beat it. Money, money, money. Gotta love the post spawn. You can use just about whatever you want to use. You'll pretty much eat anything. I would probably rather throw a frog, but kind of another one blow up right there.